So recently we got this really interesting thing that was shown to us online, and it was the trailer for Detective Pikachu, the new live-action Pokemon movie coming out next summer, 2019. And wow, it is quite the trailer, okay? So you would watch it and you'd expect it. If you heard Pokemon live action and you heard the Pokemon were going to be hyper-realistic and it's not even going to be about Pokemon but more about a detective, you'd be like, what? That sounds awful. You watch the trailer though, and it's not that bad. It's actually okay. It's pretty decent. So I did a video on it, of course, but I wanted to pinpoint why it looks so good. Why people are so intrigued by the movie, why they're not just writing it off as absolutely terrible, why it actually looks like it could be a pretty good movie and could perhaps be probably the best video game movie out there, as they always seem to be incredibly mediocre. Let's get into it. Let's discuss it. So I think one of the things that makes it so unique and so appealing is that it's not just the typical happy-go-lucky CGI movie. So a lot of the CGI live-action movies, it usually is a particular character plonked into the real world artificially. They're not usually in their home world, they're usually just on Earth. They're in New York, or they're in London, or they're in something like that. But with Pokemon, it's actually just the Pokemon world. It's not Earth. It's Rhyme City, which is based off of obviously the Detective Pikachu game, if you know about that. So it's based on that. So everything's natural. The Pokemon are there naturally. It's not like Pikachu, he's on the Pokemon world, and the portal opens up and now he's in the real world. No, it's just normal, it's regular. But the thing that obviously sets it apart is that Pikachu can talk, and this main character, I forgot what his name is, I'm really sorry, he's the only one who can understand him. That's what makes the dynamic so different. So I think the fact that it's not so jarring that the Pokemon are in this realistic setting and it's just wholly integrated as Rhyme City, the location of the game, I just think that's what makes it look good. I think the second thing that makes it look so just weird, but in a good way, it's just obviously the realistic Pokemon. So you see Pikachu and he's really fluffy and everything. You see Jigglypuff is fluffy. You've got Charizard, he's got all scales. Greninja looks like a frog. It's crazy, but the thing that makes it so normal is that Pikachu isn't the only one that is CGI. Obviously, because it's Pokemon, we've got loads of Pokemon. So it's not as jarring seeing a CGI model or character next to a real human being, because Pikachu's not the only one. Because in a lot of the live-action movies, like Alvin and the Chipmunks, you've got the Chipmunks, and they're usually the only CGI characters. Everyone else are humans, and it just looks pretty jarring. And they usually really try and go cartoony with a lot of the CGI stuff. But the fact they went realistic this time, they didn't go like absolutely insanely crazy, like too realistic that's absolutely creepy. No, they went normal CGI. It looks natural. Pikachu looks adorable. This is one of the best Pikachus of all time, and it looks normal. Just because we're in the Pokemon world, there's lots of Pokemon, and it just doesn't look jarring. You've got your Charmanders, your Greninjas, your Charizards, your Squirtles, your Emolgas, and then obviously your Pikachu. So I think that's the second thing that makes it look really intriguing. I think the third thing that makes it look intriguing is the fact that it's not just a regular Pokemon movie. It's a detective movie. So it's based off of the game Detective Pikachu, which I still need to play. I'm really sorry I haven't played it. But in the game, you solve crimes with this Pikachu. You're the only one who can understand it. I think it's a good direction to go, because like I said earlier, CGI movies really tend to go happy-go-lucky, really kid-friendly, like incredibly kid-friendly. Whereas this time, they didn't. They're going not totally adult, because that would be insane. That would be really jarring. Then I'd ask who the film was even for. They're actually going a thin line, in a good way. They're not going too low down to the kid-friendly stuff, but they're not going too teens. It's around, I would say, PG-13 is what I think they're going for, which is perfect. That's absolutely perfect. And I just think the dynamic of having a different kind of story set in the Pokemon world is more interesting than just, here's a trainer, he wants to be the Pokemon Master again, as we've seen in all the games. No, I think this is way more interesting, and if anything good comes from this afterwards, like a sequel, or a different kind of Pokemon movie, I think they should definitely keep on continuing to try new things. Not go for this whole Pokemon Master thing, but actually try and, I don't know, hit different genres of movies. Don't make it too kid-friendly. Don't make it the really typical Pokemon movie. If they're gonna base it off of a game, base it off of a game that has an intriguing plot. I feel like if they've ever made a movie off of Kanto, I'm probably gonna get killed for this. I'm really sorry, guys. I would hate if they made a movie based off of Kanto. But you don't need it. Not only do we have the Indigo League anime, we've also got the games that have just been remade. We've got Fire Red and Leaf Green, Pokemon Yellow, Red, Blue, Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, Pokemon Origin, Pokemon Anime. We've got everything. So I just think there's nothing new to add if you base it off of Kanto. And you just want them to be the Pokemon Master. You want them to do something new, make it more intriguing, make it interesting, hit the right tones, get a new dynamic and a new look into the world of Pokemon, like the different ways people interact with them, instead of just a typical, haha, I caught you. That was me throwing a Pokeball. I'm really sorry, that was terrible. That was me throwing a Pokeball, but I just think having this dynamic between characters is cool. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think this is going to be some masterpiece movie. I don't think it's going to be like the best movie of all time. I just think it's going to be a very solid movie, which is an absolute plus because it's a video game movie. Like I said, it's based off of Detective Pikachu. This is a video game movie that could actually be a genuinely good movie. And it's absolutely going to do well, guys. This is going to be an absolute blockbuster hit. I absolutely guarantee it. This is going to be one of the best selling movies, one of the most biggest grossing movies of all time. Absolutely. I'm calling it now. It's Pokemon. And if they find more ways to promote it, if they even get Pokemon Go into it, maybe you can catch Detective Pikachu in Pokemon Go. It's gonna be a blockbuster hit, and I think it deserves it. Right now, I feel like it deserves it. My one big worry is that they're gonna spoil it too much. I think the first trailer they showed was very good, but it did show off a lot of plot points. So I hope in future trailers they don't just give away the endings and everything. I'm not sure how Warner Brothers usually handle their trailers, because I don't watch much of their movies, but I really hope they don't do that. I would love to go into this movie almost blind, because I'm going to try and avoid the trailers, honestly. Even though Twitter is probably going to destroy me, I'm never going to be able to avoid it. But I'm going to try my best. I think going into a movie like this, you don't want to be spoiled. I've not played the game, so I don't know how closely it resembles the actual plot of the game, but I want to go in completely blind, get my full, normal expectations set based off of this first trailer, go from there. I think it looks good. I also think it's cool that they added all these references to the game. Obviously, we've got Sinnoh. I don't know where Rhyme City is set. Is it set in its own region, or is it set in like Sinnoh or Kalos? But clap. But I like the whole references because it's trying to obviously not go too far away from the core of Pokemon. You even had the main theme in that trailer for the first, and I think it was in the first 20 seconds of the trailer. You had the main theme playing really subtly. That's cool, as long as they can stick to the games and not stray too far away and turn it into something it's not. Because that's also a lot of things that video game movies tend to do. They tend to go way too far away from the source material, and they screw themselves over for it, because it usually turns out absolutely terrible. Whereas this, if they stick closely to the material, but obviously like get everything else right, get the Pokemons right, get the characters right, don't make them too corny, don't make them too edgy, make them realistic human characters like they seem to be right now, get it right. And the references and everything in the background is just showing the resemblance this has to the Pokemon franchise itself, and it lets like longtime fans like me look at the references and be like, yeah, that's cool, I feel right at home here, I feel like I'm actually watching a Pokemon movie. Because honestly, in my opinion, the Pokemon movies they do now, the whole, the anime movies, I just don't think they're great. I think the first 3 were phenomenal, I think they're absolutely fantastic, but I think beyond maybe the Celebi movie, I just don't think they've been that great. I just think they've been really by the numbers. They've done too many of them. They don't feel significant. Now, like, the plots of the movies don't really feel significant. They just don't feel like an event. Movies should feel like an event. And these anime movies don't. The last one I saw was the Pokemon I Choose You. That was like the anniversary movie. And I just, I was really disappointed, guys. I'm really sorry. Especially when Pikachu talked. That was insane. In a bad way. I'm really sorry. That was insane in a bad way. It really, really made me cringe. I won't lie. But I just think the anime movies aren't the best. So if they can just stray away from that. We don't need anime movies anymore. We can have these movies, these live action movies, which cost probably way more to make, but will make way more money, I think. And before I end the video, can I just shout out Eevee? If you didn't pick up Let's Go Eevee and you picked up Let's Go Pikachu, I'm disappointed in you. That's a joke, by the way. Please don't destroy me. But that's everything I've got to say. That's why I think the movie looks solid. That's why people are intrigued. It's mainly, the plot of the movie is not just a typical Pokemon movie plot. There's the Pokemon actually fitting into the environment and not looking incredibly jarring. And it's the tone. It's the tone of the movie, and it's the fact that it's not pulling too many jokes either that are really bad. Like, they had that one Mr. Mime joke that was funny, because he used that mirror move. I forgot what it's called. And that's like, only Pokemon fans would really get that. It's cool. It's cool, man. And that is it. That's all I've got to say. Watch it. Watch the movie, or Mr. Mime will kill you.